You're listening to Game On with Jackson Stuart.
Life is good, but you, player, deserve something great. Follow Game On with Jackson Stuart on social media and get the latest advice, tips, and life hacks. Follow at Game On with Jack on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Lastly, hook yourself up with news you can use, interviews, posts, articles, and more on men's lifestyle, health, and success. See you at www.gameonwithjack.blog. Life's a game. Time to play. Time to win.
Good people, sexy people, welcome back to another edition of Game On with Jackson Stuart, where rookies enter and players leave. Tonight, we are continuing our discussion on if you're being exploited. We're talking about the exploitation equation. Last week, we talked about if you're getting used at work. Tonight, we're talking about those people who love you the most, family and friends. How to know if they are taking advantage of you. The exploitation equation. Family or favors, 6 signs you're being used by family and friends. Before we dive into the rest of the show, I want to remind you guys, please give me a follow. Give the show a follow. It's not just about me. YouTube.com/Game On with Jack. Twitter, same handle. Instagram, same handle. Game On with Jack. The blog, gameonwithjack.blog. And catch me on Facebook. Game On with Jackson is the page. So, want to invite you all there. Thank you so much for those who have suddenly started to pick up, follow, join, talk, spread the word, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. I really feel like this is the podcast that cuts through the noise and gives you the real talk that you need to upgrade your life and win the game. If you find other podcasts or other sources to do the same, please, by all means, use those too. But just make sure that whatever you are eating mentally, whatever you are eating emotionally, is helping you grow. You know, not podcasts that get you all nervous, podcasts that get you all angry. You know, podcasts that open your eyes to help you level up to being that best version of yourself, that great player that's in all of us, that really is the winner of the game of life. So, like I said, tonight's topic is one that is both personal and powerful. Recognizing when you're being used by the people closest to you, your family and friends. It's tough. Because last week we talked about clear signs where at work you could see that you're being taken advantage of. Foremost, that you're doing a lot of work and not getting any compensation. No recognition. No walking around money. No extra scratch. However you want to put it. You ain't getting it, but you're doing the work. With a job, it's a little bit easier to tell, all right, this is above and beyond. Repeatedly, I got to talk about what's going down. With your family, it's tougher. With your friends, it's tougher because there's blood, there's loyalty, there's history. Stuff that lets you, you know, if your brother calls and has a flat, you show up and help him out. You don't show up, help them out, and then stick your hand out like, hey, grease the palm, you know, where's some gas money? If dad needs to ride to the store, if mom needs, you know, somebody to help her out, you know, help the TV to be set up, whatever it is, you do these things without any expectation of compensation because they're your family. They're the team that you're born into or adopted into or have grown into. Same with your friends. These are people who, you know, you got history with, ride or dies. And they've asked you for a favor. Okay. And then another favor, and then another favor, and another favor. And at some point, Where's the compensation at? At some point, their expectation of you has gone beyond just helping out somebody in your family and now treating you like an employee. And because they are family, because they are friends, this is a very delicate situation to manage. So, this isn't a subject that most of us think about, all right? We all want to believe we all want to believe the best about those we love. But the reality is that sometimes the people closest to us can take advantage of our kindness, our resources, and our good nature the most. And if we don't recognize the signs early on, it can lead to emotional burnout. Right? You get tired of dealing with, cousin Susie's bullshit all the time. Financial strain. You get tired of kicking extra bucks over to your sister or your brother when they come up short. And a sense of betrayal that's hard to shake. There's nothing worse than saying no to somebody in your family and they look at you like you have stabbed them in the heart. Even if they've asked too much. It's that look, and it stays with you, and it sticks in you, and it hurts you the most. So, tonight's episode, we're going to break down 6 clear signs that you're being used by your family, how to spot these red flags, and most importantly, how to take action and protect yourself. Because remember, here on Game On, we don't like just talking about the problem. We got to give you guys solutions. We got to give you guys takeaways, all right? Because that's a clear distinction to me between a real player and just a wannabe player. Wannabe players want to talk about problems all day, want to talk about what should have happened, what somebody did to them, whatever, and it ends there. True players want to talk about the problem and they want to spend more time on the solution. All right, so that's what we're about here. Remember that this isn't about becoming paranoid or cynical as you look at your family and your friends. This isn't about changing your dynamics so that you become the dick in the family. It's about setting healthy boundaries and ensuring that your relationships are built on mutual respect and care and love, not just what can you do for me lately or what have you done for me lately. All right, so let's dive in. Sign number 1 that you're being used, and as we talk about family or favors, one-sided relationships. Oh yeah, shit's real. Let's start with a classic red flag, the one-sided relationship. This is when you find yourself constantly giving, whether it's your time, energy, money, or emotional support without receiving anything in return. Just like work, no compensation, no accolades, no nothing. It's as if the relationship is a one-way street and you're the only one doing the driving. The other person ain't doing a damn thing. So here's how you identify a one-sided relationship. Emotional labor. You're always the one reaching out, planning get-togethers, and checking in. You're always the one texting, the one calling, the one emailing just to see how people are doing or how the situation's going. If you stopped making the effort, the relationship would likely fizzle out. Next up, financial strain. You're always paying for things, whether it's dinners, gifts, or even loans that never get repaid. When was the last time someone treated you? When was the last time your family or the family member in question or friend in question said, hey, let's go out to get coffee. I owe you. Let me get you something, whatever. Or, gave you a gift card or just slid you a 20 because you showed up. When was the last time that happened to you? Lack of support. When you need help or just someone to talk to, these friends or family members are suddenly unavailable. You can't find their asses anywhere. Yet, they always expect you to be there for them. It's almost like if you look in your call log on your phone, it's a bunch of calls going out, but not a lot of calls coming in. That's you reaching out to them, not them reaching out to you. And if they do reach out to you, I bet you those calls are, hey, can you? Or, hey, are you available? And so on. So if you recognize any of these patterns, it's time to reassess the balance in your relationships. The relationship should be reciprocal, with both parties contributing equally. If you're the only one putting in the work, putting in the effort, it's a clear sign you're being used. Sign number 2. They only reach out when they need something. Ooh, man, I'm thinking about people I know right now. I hope they ain't listening. Another telltale sign that you're being used is when people when people only contact you when they need something. This could be a favor, advice, or even just a shoulder to cry on. But the key point is that their outreach is conditional. It's not about maintaining a genuine connection. It's about what you can do for them. And here's what it looks like. You got the opportunist. You rarely hear from this person unless they're in a bind. They are jammed up and need help. They don't ask how you're doing. They jump straight to their request. Then you got no follow-up. After you've helped them, they disappear. There's no follow-up, no thanks, and damn sure no reciprocation. There's no gift card, no cash, no thank you card, no nothing. There's emotional manipulation. They might use guilt or flattery to get what they want, making you feel like you owe them or you are their only hope. Keep in mind, guys, excuse me, that emotional manipulation is not always, it's negative, but it doesn't always look negative. It doesn't always look like guilt. Sometimes it's flattery. Sometimes it's, syrupy words and false pretense of how great you are. It's grandeur, but it's temporary and it's conditional, just to get you hyped up, souped up enough to do what they need you to do. This kind of behavior shows a lack of respect for your time and your energy. And if someone is only around when they need something, they're not valuing you as a person. They're valuing you as a thing, as an object, what you can provide, as a utility. It's essential to recognize this and set boundaries to protect yourself. Sign number 3. Disregard for your time and boundaries. All right. So respect is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. When someone consistently disregards your time, your energy, and boundaries, it's a strong indicator that they're using you. This can manifest in several ways. Last minute requests. Number 1 way. They constantly ask for favors or time at the last minute, expecting you to drop everything you're doing and accommodate them in whatever they need. Boundary pushing. You've set clear boundaries about money, time, etc., but they regularly cross them. Whether it's calling you late at night, asking you for money that you said you don't have or are not going to give, showing up unannounced, or expecting you to handle their problems. Lastly, lack of appreciation. There's no acknowledgement or appreciation for the sacrifices you make. It's as if your time and energy are owed to them. Or it's as if your time and energy are not tied to a living, breathing person. Almost as if, like, who thanks the sink when it works? Who thanks the hammer when they can use it? Who thanks the shoes when they stick their feet in and tie them and walk around? The lack of appreciation is also as if they were trying to feel gratitude towards an object. People who respect you will respect your time and boundaries. They'll understand that you have your own life, your own commitments, and your own needs. And if someone is consistently ignoring your boundaries, it's a sign that they're more interested in their own needs, interested in what you can do for them, all more so than in maintaining a healthy relationship. So, sign number 4, they downplay your achievements and feelings. So another subtle but significant sign that you're being used by family and friends is when someone consistently downplays your achievements, your feelings, or needs. All right, so they might minimize your successes. Whenever you achieve something, they brush it off or shift the conversation back to themselves. They may ignore your feelings, when you express your emotions, they dismiss them or tell you that you're overreacting. They make everything about them. They twist conversation to focus on their needs, their problems, or their achievements, leaving little room and energy for your voice. Now, this kind of behavior is not just inconsiderate, it's a way of keeping you in a position where you feel less important, less valued, all right, and more likely to continue giving without expecting much in return. It's a power imbalance. And the person with the least amount of power, or the person who feels they have the least amount of power, is less likely to stand up for themselves and make demands of how they want to be treated. This is a subtle form of manipulation that can erode your self-esteem over time. Step number 5, as we talk about the exploitation equation, tonight's topic, family or favors. You feel drained after interaction. Man, if this ain't an indicator. One of the most telling signs that you're being used is how you feel after interacting with the person. You're fucking tired. If you consistently feel drained, exhausted, or even resentful after spending time with them, it's a red flag. So here's what to look for. Emotional exhaustion. After talking or spending time with them, you feel emotionally depleted, as if they've sucked the life right out of you. Increased anxiety or stress. The thought of seeing or talking or being around the person fills you with dread and stress rather than excitement or joy. You know, it's that like, oh God, I gotta go see dad. Oh God, I gotta go see mom, you know? Resentment. You start to feel resentful of their constant demands or the imbalance in the relationship. But you're not sure how to address it, but you damn sure can feel it. Healthy relationships should leave you feeling uplifted, supported, valued, renewed. If someone is consistently draining your energy, it's a sign that the relationship is taking more from you than it's giving back. Last sign, you're afraid to say no. The final sign we're going to discuss tonight is the fear of saying no. If you find yourself consistently agreeing to things out of fear of losing the relationship, disappointing someone, or facing their anger, it's a clear sign that you're being used. So consider these scenarios. Fear of rejection. You're afraid that if you say no, they'll cut you off or withdraw their affection or support that they never really gave in the first place. Guilt. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries or saying no. As if your needs are less important than theirs. Obligation. You feel an overwhelming sense of obligation to always be there for them, to help them, even at the cost of your own well-being and your own time and desires. This is perhaps one of the most dangerous signs because it can lead to long-term emotional manipulation and abuse. It's crucial to remember that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding. And you should never feel afraid to say no to someone who truly values you. So, takeaways, like how to protect yourself and upgrade your life. And one thing, you know, I do want to say these may be people who legitimately love you, who care about you, but for whatever reason, whatever they may have going on, whatever they're dealing with, all they can see is their needs, their problems, and they don't see you. They may love you to death in every other circumstance, but in this situation, dealing with this problem, all they can see is them. They're like in a fun house, in a house of mirrors. They could be good people. Just in this situation, they suck. And they're killing you by sucking the life out of you. So, takeaways, how to protect yourself and upgrade your life. Now that we've identified the 6 signs that you're being used by family and friends, let's talk about what you can do to protect yourself and upgrade your life. Now, here's some key takeaways. Set clear boundaries. First up, Establish clear boundaries in your relationships. Let people know what you're comfortable with and stick to it. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're about protecting your energy and well-being. With whatever they have going on, there should never be a loss of where you stop and where they start. When that gets muddy, when you almost feel like it's now your problem, you got to start working on some boundaries. Next takeaway, practice saying no. Get comfortable with saying no. Remember, you have the right to prioritize your own needs and well-being. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person who values themselves. And don't feel like you have to say no with a long-ass explanation. I mean, if it's something drastic like, no, I can't take you to the doctor because I'm out of town for work, something like that, sure, maybe a short explanation. But don't feel like every no that you say, you have to validate. You don't. You know why you're saying no. Maybe you do have something, schedule conflict. Maybe you're saying no because you need a damn break. Whatever it is, your no is valid. Also, make sure that your no is not coming off harsh or terse or mean. You can say no and be respectful and still be lovable and kind and great, but just say, no, I can't do that. And don't waffle on it. Don't be wishy-washy. No is no. The no I say today is the same no if you ask me tomorrow. Next, evaluate your relationships. Take a step back and evaluate your relationship. Take a look at it. Are your relationships reciprocal? Do they leave you feeling fulfilled or drained? Are they one-way streets? Don't be afraid to distance yourself from relationships that are consistently one-sided. You're not abandoning people, but you're protecting yourself. You're valuing yourself, maybe for the first time with this person. Communicate openly. If you feel comfortable, have an open and honest conversation with the person who's been taking advantage of you. Sometimes people aren't aware of their behavior. Like I said, this person could love you to the moon and back. They just are not aware that when it comes to, taking them to work, that they only see what they need, not what it's doing to you. Sometimes people aren't aware of their behavior, and a frank discussion can lead to positive change. Maybe just a few changes, but maybe that's all you need. And here's the thing. If you don't let people know that you're human, if you don't let people know that their requests can wear you down, that you're getting tired, that you have other obligations that are weighing on you, like I said last week, if you suffer in silence, they'll kill you and smile, or they'll kill you and think you liked it. People are not mind readers. Now, there are some very intuitive, very self-aware people who know they're asking too much and will stop. But a lot of people, the majority of people, aren't like that. So sometimes you got to tell people, hey, this is too much. And if they love you, and they do love you, and then they should go, oh my God, I didn't know. Let's have a conversation. Let's balance it out. Seek support. If you're struggling to navigate these issues, don't hesitate to seek support from a trained professional, a therapist, a counselor, or a trusted friend, somebody who's wise in your life that can give you good insight and has given you good insight in the past. These people can provide guidance and can help you build stronger, healthier relationships and show you that there's a light at the end of the tunnel with this person. It's not a train. It's a healthier version of your relationship with this person. And maybe that healthier version that you all don't have a relationship, but it's still healthier than what you got. Lastly, focus on self-care. Prioritize your self-care. Take care of yourself. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, your body, and your soul. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle the challenges in your relationships. There may be caregiving that you are providing that you have to give, or because nobody else can give it. And maybe it's a sick parent or sibling or, an adult child. I mean, a young child is a different thing, but somebody who's old enough that it's clearly that they're taking advantage of you. But sometimes with caregiving, there is a sense of giving more than the other person can give you. But you have to evaluate even that relationship so that you're still getting something emotionally from it and that you are all still in a loving connection. Because resentment and bitterness in a caregiving situation only goes one way, and that's worse. All right. So some situations are going to be more imbalanced with you doing more just because of the nature, the way it is. But that doesn't mean that there can't be little tweaks done to make things better and healthier for everybody involved. That may take you talking to a therapist. That may take you talking to a trusted friend. That's damn sure going to require you to do some self-care. So as we wrap up tonight's episode, remember that recognizing when you're being used isn't about becoming suspicious or distrusting of others, especially the people you love, especially people that are family and friends. It's about developing self-awareness and ensuring that your relationships are built on mutual respect, love, and care, not just about transaction, not just about what you can do for me and what you can't do for me and what I can do for you. Family and friends should uplift you, not drain you. At least not all the time. They should celebrate your success. They should support you in tough times, and they should respect your boundaries. If this is not the case, it's time to take action. By identifying the signs and taking steps and protecting yourself, you can cultivate relationships that are truly fulfilling and supportive. And sometimes players don't forget that some people you can only love from afar. So, thank you guys for tuning in to this important episode of Game On with Jackson Stuart. If you found this discussion helpful, please share, like, leave comments, all that good stuff. Guys, until next time, gentlemen, players, keep it sexy and game on.